And oh, that's the wrong thing. Well done. That's the final level. I'm supposed to go into speedrun mode because this game has a speedrun mode built in. So I guess let's get started.
Kind of.
Oh,
Here we go. So the game is split into 4 acts, and each act has 3 to 4 levels, and each act has a final boss at the end. So yeah.
right now you're seeing like the main gimmick or mechanic of the game, which is that every time he jumps, he's like placing a block under his feet. You can see that right there. That's not unlimited. You can place a maximum of 4 blocks before touching ground again, and it's what makes the game, let's say, very different from other games because it allows. Basically, you are given this map and you have to go to the right as a classic platformer, but the way you get there is really open because the blocks allow for a lot of creativity, much more than a usual quad jump or something like that. They also don't refresh when you do the wall jumps, so you have to actually make sure to manage when you touch ground.
Yeah, exactly. So I have to touch the ground to be able to use all my 4 blocks again. Actually, they're called shadow cores in the in-game.
Also, attacking is technically a block, so it follows the same rules basically, except you don't actually waste a block, if that makes sense. If you don't have blocks left, you can't attack, but if you do have blocks left, you can attack all you want.
So I just finished level 1, so now I'm on to level 2, and I'm gonna use a new mechanic, which is the wall jump. So I have a different button to place blocks on the side of myself, and then I can jump off again. So it allows me to gain height a lot faster, and opens up a lot more things.
If you are playing this game casually, you are actually not told that you already have wall jump, so this is a very different way of how a casual player will actually.
Actually,
Go to this
casually, you
level.
don't have all the blocks, like all the abilities from the start.
Oh, users app don't have.
Yeah, that's specific to the speedrun mode, where you unlock.
And you skip some lore, which is convenient.
Yeah, so you skip the tutorials and the few cutscenes in speedrun mode. So I had a question for you, DDP. What gave you the idea to make a speedrun mode for the game?
It's actually a request from the community. We started showing off the game at PAX fairly early on, and we had more than one station next to each other, and we had people just start racing each other live during the demo, and that's how it pretty much started. So.
Nice. So as you can see, this cycle introduces cycles. So you have to. So pretty much the cycles load at the start of the level. So if I lose any time or if I die, the cycles don't reset, and I need to improvise because I pretty much know all the cycles perfectly. So if I'm distinct from the cycles, and I can't go as fast anymore. So I'm losing even more time than the time I already lost.
And also, you see him jumping here even though there's ground. The slopes actually slow you down for whatever reason, both upward slopes and downward slopes. So it's faster to just like jump and place blocks under you, and that way you don't actually get this slope.
So we're arriving to the first boss of the Act 1. So this is gonna be, after this section, it's gonna be the end of the Act 1. So I just missed the wave cycle. I was just a bit too slow, so I didn't get it. But it's fine, it only loses like 1 second or 2 to miss it.
The boss idea is to like get to the end of these waves while making all of these cycles, both the spinners and the fishes that are jumping upwards. And then there's one big crystal at the end that you can destroy to finish the thing, the act also.
Oh, so I didn't mention checkpoints yet. So we can see these things that are called checkpoints, and pretty much every time I die, I go back to the last checkpoints I activated, and there's no checkpoint during the boss sections. So that's why I came back to the start of this escape section, or this wave section.
fine. This one's actually like decently short, so it's not like it's a huge time loss or anything.
Yeah,
Obviously, it's better if it doesn't happen, but it's not like we're gonna be here for much longer.
and the game is timed using in-game time. So as you can see on the top left, I have a timer, and that's what we use for the leaderboards.
There's also in-game leaderboards, so that's actually pretty nice. Right now this is the start of Act 2, and I don't know if it's this level or the next one, they introduce a new mechanic which is like slimy walls. We'll talk about that when we actually see them.
Yeah, it looks like we're gonna see slimy walls for now. It's on the next level. But on this level we're gonna see the first elevator, which are slow and we don't want to take.
We're generally gonna try to speed up elevators as much as possible by either jumping up or trying to make some cycles inside the elevator, or simply small stuff like that that can speed it up a little bit. Also, this is technically a secret, but since Dedew has played this game before apparently, he already knows the secret and it's faster to just cut across rather than climbing the entire wall, mountain.
So yeah, that's the first elevator, and for this one I have no choice, I have to take it because I can't get through all the lasers. That's the first auto-scroller part of the level, of the game.
There are faster strats you can use here to just keep the cycle and climb up, but it's like more of a individual level strats.
Yeah.
They are riskier, faster but riskier.
Yeah, it's much riskier and I don't want to take the risk. And I don't even take it in like PB attempts on the full run. But it's an AL strat, I do. But it saves like only 1 second, and if you die you lose like 20.
Yeah, exactly. It's a really risky move to do.
Nice pun.
Right here you're seeing like these green enemies. Those are actually like spawners. They spawn another small green enemies. And I'm not sure, but I believe that's RNG where they spawn. So that's like one of the very few sources for RNG in this game. I believe it's actually like straight up the only one now that the final boss has been reworked.
Yeah, those bees spawn randomly, but they always follow the same pattern. So when you see them spawning, you just can.
Yeah, you usually have time to react to how they spawned and to get past them. But like sometimes it's pretty hard to avoid because you don't really know how they're gonna, like in which direction they're gonna dash towards. So the devs pretty much removed like in the speedrun mode they removed a lot of the RNG that is normally in the story mode.
And these are the slimy walls that I mentioned earlier. You actually cannot wall jump off these walls, so you're forced to either wall jump off logs or try to find a way around.
Exactly.
Yeah, when we first launched the game, we had RNG in the speedrun mode, and yeah, people were not all that happy about that because, well, RNG does what it usually does, which can really ruin your run if you're just unlucky. So we try to remove it in most places. So yeah, you'll see a bit later. There's the boss of this act used to have RNG at the end, and yeah, it's something that can go really against you.
Yeah, and I really appreciate that change. Like sometimes it's a bit frustrating to like be on a nice pace and then lose a lot of time to RNG.
Yeah. Yeah, one of the things we want to do next is to add a practice mode so that you can more easily practice sections of levels. So yeah, at this point we pretty much go with the feedback of the community to see what we should add inside the game.
This is the last level of this act, I believe. And
yeah.
it's supposed to be like these caves, but we're gonna just zoom through them in ways that are, I mean, I don't really want to say unintended because, like I said, the vlogs allow you to do whatever you really want. So there's not really an intended way of beating the game. But we're gonna be trying to take the shortest path possible all the time. Also, something we haven't mentioned is that you are supposed to be using a mechanic where if you press, I believe it's Y on a Xbox controller, you can actually like stand on the ground and place a block, you move around. So you basically like take control of a block. Like we're actually never gonna do that on a speedrun setting simply because it's really slow and we have ways around it. And right there, just saw him select last checkpoint as actually intended. It pushes him farther up.
Yeah, so I basically I activated the checkpoint and then killed myself. Or like reset to the last checkpoint to be able to... Because like when you die, the timer stops. So I used that to gain a bit of height without the timer running. It's a new strat I like started doing half an hour ago actually.
Yeah, I never saw that, and it's pretty smart.
Because I died there and I saw that I respawned above, so I thought about it. Like I could do it like manually, like intended. It saves a little bit of time.
It does because we use the in-game timer, so it works. Alright, that's pretty much the last stretch before the boss.
There we go. So this is now gonna be the second boss, or like the boss of Act 2. So there's a boss at the end of each act. And here the crystals always spawn in the same order.
Yeah, that's not a speedrun mode change. In casual playthrough, these crystals are actually randomized, I believe. At least I know that mine didn't really spawn bot to top, as far as I can remember.
Yeah, that's the RNG that was removed in the last patch.
Exactly, so now Dedew knows that the next crystal he needs to take care of is the one at the bottom. So he can just make sure he's not too far when the time comes.
Also, whenever he touches ground, there's a block flying. You actually see the block like change a bit. That's what blocks do in this game. In other games, maybe the blocks will disappear once you touch ground because you're getting it like a full recharge. But in this game, they actually stay, which in some places, he's actually already used it yet, allow for like 5 block strats, which is actually a pretty cool thing. In other games, that wouldn't work.
Yeah.
And you can actually see how many charges are left by looking at the block. So when the block is fully red, then there's no more charges. And as soon as the player lands on the ground, the charges restart.
So now we're on to Act 3. It's one of my favorite acts, like from the ambience and everything,
really cool.
and the cycles.
Yeah, I love that act as well. It's my favorite soundtrack as well in the entire game that is in this level.
The soundtrack is amazing in this game, actually. Shoutouts to whoever did it. It's really
Yeah,
good.
thank you. We actually had it's actually a mix, so we have it's pretty much 50-50 between a friend of us and Peak Media, who's another studio in town, audio studio in Quebec and Montreal. They do a really good job.
Also, casually, this is kind of, I don't want to say puzzles, but yeah, basically, you don't really know what place to take. Plot-wise, there's supposed to be like traps set here by an NPC who you don't never really see because she's dead by this point. But since Dedew has played this game before once again, he knows the path to take and stuff, so he's just like breezing through level.
I take it safe this time.
Oh, yeah.
Actually, I'm pretty happy about this pace so far.
And so you can see the blue crystals that they do pretty much avoid. So these, when the player, what he can do is try to break those, and what it does is that it will spawn a platform or open a door or sometimes close a door. So it activates mechanisms, and well, when you do that, you lose a bit of time. So if you can find a way to go around them, it's a bit faster, and you can also use them to respawn. So you can't wall jump on them, like you can't grab on them, but you can land on them, so you can recharge your block doing so.
Also, this level we're in right now has the one and only really unintended trick, I want to say, which is an out of bounds trick actually. It's coming up in a couple of seconds. By couple, I mean like 30 or so, I think.
It's pretty soon, it's like in 10 seconds or something.
Yeah, it's
Right
a pretty
here.
big skip.
There we go.
Oh.
Never mind. So I have to do like blind movements because I can't see the platforms behind those leaves.
Yeah, the idea is that this level doesn't really have ceilings because it's supposed to like be like an open forest. So you can just like go upwards, and then on that side where he was, there's a wall because there's like a small room there with I guess I haven't really explained that. In this game there's both 20% and 100%, the standard categories.
Yes.
And 100% you collect these small crystals that have like, plot-wise they have civilians in them. And there's one of those rooms there that has a crystal with a civilian. So you can just like wall jump on the outside of that room and then just land on top of it. And you're just out of bounds. And right here, this is the last level of the Act 3. This is actually one of the few levels where you don't just head right. This is actually kind of passively level when you are doing it casually. And speedrun wise, we just have to collect, I believe it's 5, 1, 2, yeah, it's 5 keys to actually open this kind of city thing.
Yeah, we have to open this door, and to do so we have to collect 5 crystals. And if every time I die, I lose those crystals. So I pretty much have to not die.
Yeah, if you die, the game put them back where you found them.
Yeah, I can lose a lot of time if I die near the end on this level.
Also, this first puzzle is actually really annoying because the cycles change when you come back, they slow down. So it's really annoying, at least casually. Like you see, this one's taking more time to open now than the right one.
That scared me a bit. So I put the key into the door, so this one is safe. But now I have to collect the 4 others. And the other 4 I'm not gonna go back to the door to put them in, because that's a time waste. It loses too much time to do it for the other keys.
Nice.
That was close.
That room is pretty much the hardest one, the level.
Also, these platforms coming up that have fire, if they have fire, you obviously can't be on them because, you know, you get burned. But even if they have fire, you can still wall jump off them. So he's actually gonna do that a fair amount, both on this level and on some that are coming up that I think also have this kind of platforms.
Oh.
Do we have time for a quick donation?
Sure,
Go
go
ahead.
ahead.
So, we have $58 from Williamson42. Had to make sure Vivi met its goal. Good luck 10, Walma7 love. And we also have $10 from Anonymous. And with that, I'd like to inform you that the any percent race incentive for VVVVV has been met.
Yo, nice.
Nice.
And also as a reminder, if you donate any amount during this very run, you're eligible for winning a Steam key for Lightfall. So if you want to play some good platformers, get that money rolling.
I actually didn't know that we were doing this, but like it's really nice. Also, I think the game is gonna be on sale like from today till Sunday. Maybe you have a little more details.
Yeah, the game will be on sale for the marathon actually. So we are celebrating with a 35% off. So the game is a bit less than $10 or 10 euros right now. And also during that time, we'll be giving 20% of our proceeds to the ESA as well. So
Flash
if you
warning
are,
right now.
yeah. So if you are buying the game during the weekend or today, well, you are also participating into charity as well.
So I just died and lost all the keys I had collected.
I mean, you only had one, so it's fine.
No, I had two, so I'll have to go back there.
Oh
and
right, you. Oh,
collect
I
them
kinda
again.
missed that one.
So that's gonna be like a 1 minute or 2 time loss.
And you see what he meant by this level being hard? It's simply a small mistake, and then all the progress kinda gone.
Yeah. Also, I forgot to warn people about the bright flashes of light.
It's fine. Also, casually, this sort like right now, since it's speedrun mode, this is supposed to be like a riddle, but on speedrun mode, the things always appear in the same order, so he can actually doesn't even need to read. He can just like select the switches immediately. Casually, you actually have to think about what the message is saying.
Yeah, no, it's like so in story mode. Yeah, you really have to think about it because it's really random. But in speedrun mode, it's always the same order.
This level is giving me trouble.
It's mostly fine. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that room is definitely the
Like it's
The
definitely
hardest
the
one.
hardest one of this level.
Yeah, especially since like he said earlier, cycles are global. Like once you die, cycles don't reset. So if you mess up once, you're really not used to what's going on right now.
At least you will have seen this section 3 times.
You probably remember now. Honestly, music is really nice too, so just a plus.
Yeah. Okay, one left. This one should be easy. I just have to go up.
Also, we didn't explain this mechanic. You see that there's like a small and like flashing things on the screen. There's like glitter, I wanna say. It's not really glitter, but it's the best description I have. Those are blocks that don't exist until you place a block on top of them. So the idea, like the main use, at least how I use it casually and how we use it on the speedrun, is that you place a block and then you land again, and then you refresh the blocks.
yeah.
So now we're on to Act 4. It's actually my favorite act. I really like the platforming and the new mechanics.
This is actually a final act, so it's this only close, I guess.
Yeah.
And this act introduces a new mechanic, which is like, this is supposed to be like the main enemy base. So from now on, there's gonna be like these cameras. Well, it's not really cameras, but like things that can scout you, and these lasers. And the lasers are mostly fine. They are just like spikes, I wanna say, that contract and react. But the cameras actually is a new mechanic entirely, and it prevents you from placing blocks. So you have to play those sections very smart.
Oh, almost. I tried to get the fast cycle and just missed it.
Oh. That's always so cool to see.
Yeah.
So yeah, casually you're supposed to take the platforms and like protect yourself using a block. But like I don't have time for that, so I just jump down and place the
just
block
go
on my
fast.
side.
Yeah, this one went pretty well.
Maybe if you have a few more donations, go ahead.
And right now you see him actually taking these gems mail. Well, first of all, this is like a mist. You can place blocks in the mist, same thing with the cameras. I think it's actually like the exact same thing. You can place blocks, and since we said at the beginning of the game, attacking is technically a block, you can really attack here. You just have to make do with what you have, which is walls and the floor itself. This is another example of mist. You see that the screen goes a bit more white, I wanna say.
Yeah, when you have like the white edge on the screen, that's when I can't place blocks.
Yeah. Yeah, so some of these zones are just always there, but a bit further, the cameras that were mentioned will spawn zones that are not allowing you to place these blocks. So it makes it a lot harder.
These are the cameras.
Yeah, that's the cameras. So I can place blocks when they are not activated. But once I have activated them, they remove the blocks I've already placed. And they don't let me place new blocks. So I don't really have time to avoid them. Like sometimes it can lead to a death, for example, if you don't pay attention.
Also, this is Numbra's core. This is like the last level before the final boss. And this is actually a different level, just like the city was a different level, because this isn't a go right kind of level. This is a collect these 3 crystals kind of level. You just have to destroy all 3 and that's when the level ends. Casual is actually pretty annoying because the checkpoints are really far away. And this is like, they're very long basically. But it's nothing that you can't really get over, if I want to say that.
Yeah, this level only has one checkpoint in the middle, and then you have to go to all sides and collect and break the crystals.
You see how like platform is very cycle based in this kind of levels because he has to make the... They're not lasers, but I'm calling them lasers now. He has to make those laser cycles if he wants to actually get here in a relatively fast manner.
It's actually going really well so far.
Yeah, this looks pretty clean.
I've struggled a lot in practice earlier today. So I'm happy it's going well so far. Let's hope I just didn't jinx myself.
Totally fine.
There's one pretty big skip coming up. We have to stand on the edge of a platform with spikes, and it saves like a lot of time, over 10 seconds.
Yeah, spike platforms actually don't have collision entire place where the spike is. There's a few pixels on the sides that actually doesn't have a spike collision. So you can just stand there without it actually hurting you, but it's really precise because there's a few pixels. But if you do it correctly, you can actually skip. I think it's like a cycle, entire cycle, maybe 2, like that. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, nice.
Well done. And that room is the hardest one.
Oh no!
Oh,
That was right at the end of the level, and it was on world record pace for this level too, actually.
yeah, IL leaderboards are a thing on this level, so you can actually get a world record in any level. Continuing runs actually worth simply for that.
Yeah. So this game is really easy makes practice really accessible because you can run every level individually, and each level has a leaderboard in 100% and 90%.
No. And another thing to mention is that we have a ghost in there, so you can select anybody in the leaderboard and race against its ghost. So you can see which path you used, and you can see if you are ahead at any time throughout the game.
Oh,
Didn't die, so that's good. Also, laser things you can technically like turn off if you're attacking with a block, but that's slow, and also attacking removes the block that you've just placed, so it can result in very bad things if you do it without thinking.
thanks.
Yeah.
So now we're on the final level, the final boss. So this level was changed recently because the previous one was just a lot of RNG and autoscroller, so people didn't like it.
Yeah, we redesigned it from scratch. It's not even close to being the same level. It's the same enemy, it's the same, like the story didn't change, but the layout of the level is completely different. Before it was more of a kind of Mega Man boss where you are trapped in a room with him and you have to defeat him. But it was really not speedrun friendly, and it was also like the fight was fairly long, so you had no place for mistakes.
This is actually a really cool design now, especially the booster things that are new to this, to the Celestial balance. They are only in this level. They are really cool, to be honest.
Yeah, especially in speedrun because they allow you to go faster than your maximum speed. So what you do is that, as a speedrunner, is that you try to use that velocity as much as you can without touching anything else. Because as soon as you touch the ground or you spawn your block, you will go slower.
We actually didn't talk about the entire run. Momentum in this game is actually... Let's say momentum is really important because gaining momentum is really slow, so you want to keep as much momentum as you can.
Yeah, exactly. And that's how you get ahead.
Oh, bad cycles.
Yeah, this is same thing really. Cycles are global, so once you die once, they are a bit off. It's hard to adapt.
Yeah, so those boosters are a bit hard to take because sometimes, like depending on what angle to take them, you can you go faster or slower. So right here I'm doing a strat that should give me a lot of speed, and this time it was too much, and so that was what I was saying too about the cycles, that now that I died and the cycles are not what I'm used to, and I keep dying because I keep doing my normal strats without thinking.
I know it looks really easy, but it's really not.
It took me like almost an hour to get this the first time, and now it's like 1 minute.
And the jump pads that you can like control the speed at which you go, like depending on how high you jump.
So here I'm supposed to take an elevator, but elevators are slow, as we said already, so I'm not doing so.
That's the final boss.
So here we can see the final boss. He's behind, so we can't see him. But he's there, I promise.
This is a bit super Meat Boy fashion, where you just like run away and at the end of the level you basically beat him.
So you have to race and not get caught by him, and at the end you get to give him the final blow.
And
And,
time is
uh,
coming up.
Right there.
Do we have time for a quick one?
Sure.
If it's quick.
Okay, we got $10 from Anonymous saying, "Notice me, Dedew senpai. Also go baguette jump. There's one in this game, right?"
Thanks.
Well done.
So yeah, I got a 29:15 in game time. I hold the world record for this, which is 22:56 in game time. So it's pretty far off,
Yeah.
but like I'm pretty happy about this run.
Yeah, and it's stressful to do it live as well. Much harder.
For sure, like especially the first time.
Yeah.
So shout out to the RE community, Hollow Knight community, and all the friends here at ESA. And all the French people as well. That's pretty much all I had to say. So yeah, feel free to join the Discord. We're searching for people. We're gonna organize a tournament very soon, like starting like next week or so. So feel free
Yeah.
to join. This game is like pretty easy to learn, like especially as a first speed game. Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
And thanks DDP for joining us.
Yeah.
It was really nice.
Yeah, great.
Thank you guys for inviting me as well.